Welcome back to Zucchini's Ridge Homestead. Today's video, we're going to prep our new vacuum sealer for use, so stick around.
Hello, and welcome to our channel.
We're glad you're here. Well, like a lot of you, I'm sure, we vacuum seal quite often when we can. For years, we've been using the Food Saver. They work good. You've got plenty of room out here. It doesn't matter what size of item you're vacuum sealing. It could be food, it could be a different item for storage. You've got a lot of room out here for vacuuming. Downfall is, to do it properly, you have to use the vacuum seal or the
Food Saver.
Food Saver. Have to use the Food Saver bags because they've got that crinkly side on them to help draw the vacuum out. So we've decided to upgrade from the Food Saver to a chamber vacuum. The chamber vacuums, the entire chamber vacuums out, including the bag. It seals it and then releases the vacuum, and the vacuum stays in the bag. Commercially, this is how they vacuum seal items with the chambers. Where I work, we make cheese, and we vacuum 40-pound blocks of cheese in a big machine such as this, and it's a neat process to watch. But we bought the JVR VAC100. These have been out of stock for quite a while. I got an email the other day because I did an email alert, let me know when they're back in stock, and they had what they called the second look models and some scratch and dents. They still don't have any new production models. The second look models were ones that were produced recently that failed inspection when they were going through their quality controls, and apparently they're kind of a little short-handed like most places are right now. So all these failed units just got shoved aside. They've gotten caught up somewhat, and they were able to go through all these units, find out why they failed, replace that part, component, unplugged wire, whatever it was that caused it to fail inspection. It's now passed inspection. Might call it a refurbished unit, but it's still factory fresh. It's never been, sold, failed, and sent back. It failed in the factory when they were brand new. So these were about $150, I believe, under the cost of a new one, which still aren't available. And also the scratch and dents were like maybe $175 off, but they didn't tell you what it was. It was an undisclosed cosmetic damage. So we felt better comfort going with the second look models. We chose this one over some of the other models. It's got a larger chamber. That's the downfall of these. What you're vacuuming has to fit inside this chamber with the lid closed. So you're limited to this. So this is pretty much food only. Any other larger items we can still use the Food Saver for. You can put 4 canning jars in this one to seal. It's got a dish down here in the well. Try to tip that up so you can possibly see that. Glass up there. Got this dished in area right here, which most of them don't have something like that. And it also has a port here in the corner where you can use a hose and vacuum things externally. That's something the other ones, a lot of them don't have. And this also has the oil-filled vacuum pump versus a dry vacuum pump, which gives you a little deeper vacuum. So that's a few of the reasons we went with this model here. Forgot to mention earlier with the Food Saver, years ago, Paula bought cases of these empty mahi-mahi bags, and I keep forgetting the name of that, Food Saver. These aren't crinkly, they're smooth on both sides. So the Food Saver would struggle vacuuming these, and if it did vacuum, we would have to seal it twice because it's a heavier mill bag. This, we can do adjustments on it to, once we figure out what the proper seal time and temperature is on these, and we can store that in here, which is another advantage of this machine over some of the other ones. You can store like 7 different profiles for different thicknesses and sizes of bags and so forth. Another advantage of the chamber models is you can do liquid. We could fill this with a couple cups of water put it in here and vacuum seal it, whereas a food saver type would just suck the water right out. That's another advantage of the chamber models. So when we bought this, I got an email last Thursday that these were available. I don't even say last Thursday, just Thursday. Today is Saturday. So in 2 days, we received a vacuum sealer in the mail. They shipped it UPS within 2 days. It came with some accessories. They sent us extra, these 3 like little pots or little storage containers that have a vacuum lid that we can use the external on. This was a bonus I wasn't expecting. I know if you bought a new model, they were including these. I didn't know it came with the second look models. There's some stuff that came with it. Obviously the power cord, a little bottle of oil for the compressor. This is the Teflon tape that goes over top of the seal bar. I'll give you a spare one of those. This bag has some blocks in it. These blocks can be used to fill. There we go. You can stack these inside to fill the void if you have you're vacuuming something smaller and you don't want it hanging down inside. Just some filler blocks. We got a package of 4 mil bags. I'm not sure exactly what size is in here, but it looks like there's 4 or 5 different sizes of bags in there, and the 4 mil bags are nice and thick. In this accessory pouch, we have the external vacuum hose. This you just stick over this port back here and whatever you're vacuuming out on the outside, such as these canisters. We have a funnel for putting the oil in. This is a wine bottle stopper that would sit on there, vacuum it out, and then when you want to use it, you can push that button, let the air back in. So you can save bottles with this. They send you an Allen wrench, which we'll be using in a minute. This is a spare heat bar element that would go, this is your heat bar. There's the Teflon tape that they included, and this metal strip goes across here, and this is what actually heats up and seals your bags. And they sent a vacuumed rubber chicken, and I assume that this is like the test. They put the chicken in the bag and vacuum it with your machine, and that's your proof of operation. Kind of neat little surprise in the bag with the rubber chicken. So what we're going to do now is fill the compressor, or not the compressor, the vacuum pump, with oil. So we'll need our oil, our Allen wrench, and our funnel. This is also kind of a neat process. Come around and get this off the table here to show you how to do this. There's 3 screws across the bottom on the back side. You just take these 3 screws out with the included Allen wrench. Once the screws are out, this opens up like a hood, and it's got a little prop rod there. One thing I've noticed, I opened this up a couple times before we did the filming. This hose, if it's down here, it will catch when you try to close it. So I need to make sure that hose is up out of the way so that when this hinge closes, it doesn't catch on that. But to add your oil, just take your oil cap off, and on the side of the vacuum pump right here, there's a sight glass. Put our funnel in. Obviously, Paula doesn't trust me for not spilling this, the amount of paper towels she's just brought over.
I know, I've been there.
Add our vacuum oil. Watch the sight glass. And there's 2 marks here, the low and the high. We'll just want to fill this up. Coming up now. Up.
I wondered if that would take the whole bottle or not.
No, it doesn't. So you want to get it to that top line, which is about 3/4 of the glass. At least that's what it looks like from my angle here. I'm doing this kind of weird shape. It took maybe about half the bottle. They do give you instructions on how to do the oil change and when you should do it. It looks like their oil drain is this black spot right here, and they've put a rubber plug underneath in the bottom it's got slits cut in it, so you can just let your oil drain right through that into a catch container of some kind. Put our cap back on. And no matter what I do, this thing's going to drip oil. You want to take the funnel so we don't drip oil on the way? We can just pop our prop rod, make sure we're not going to catch that hose, close it down, and put our screws back in. So we will get this into use. We'll try it a few times and see how it works. And we will do a follow-up video once we know how well it works and what the operation is, give you our opinion on it. If you're in the market for a vacuum sealer, I do definitely recommend the chamber ones. They're not cheap by any means. This model, we looked at the Meat brand. I think that's what the Bearded Butchers, which they're a real popular YouTube channel. They're not too far from here actually. They're in Ohio as well. They use the Meat one. It's a good quality unit. Prices are pretty comparable between the two. But we like this one because of the external feature, which it doesn't have, and I don't think you can save programs in that one. You have to adjust it individually every time.
And this one's a little bit sleeker looking, in my opinion, than any of the other ones I've looked at. They just look like this big stainless steel block sitting on your counter.
I'm actually surprised it's as low as it is. I expected it to be, which kind of, from what I've seen of the Meat ones, it would be about this big, but that tall.
Right. And the vacuum chamber isn't any deeper.
No. I think
and they have like some bubbled glass lid on it.
Yeah.
This one just looked a lot sleeker to me.
Yeah, so we will we'll try this out. We'll vac a few things, and then we'll do a follow-up video showing you how it works. So if you're interested in one of these, stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.